I think that was the biggest thing about that group of guys is they just really wanted to win. They didn't care what it took. If a couple guys had to, maybe not play as much or different roles that they might not have been used to in the past, they just accepted it and played hard. I remember listening to it on the radio, the Western League, in the early 80s. I think, I remember 85 when PA was in it, listening to it on the radio. Even before that, I think, vaguely recall the year that Howard Chuck was there and they won it, but just on the radio. And I always followed the WHL, being about an hour and a half from Brandon, so I knew that they'd been close a couple times in the 90s or in the 70s. So I guess pretty much since I started playing hockey, I followed it for sure. Well, actually, I had been listed by the Regina Pats at 12, and then Bob Strum was the GM there in Regina, and he went to Spokane and traded for my rights there when I was 14. So, yeah, it was quite the thing to be, had to look it up on the map. It was quite a ways from home, but as it turned out to be a great thing. Since the first year I went there, when I was as a 16-year-old, we had 5 16-year-olds that year in Spokane, and we went through some struggles, some tough times, but I think we learned a lot. And coming into our second year, we had a little more under our belt. Probably that's near the second half of that second year, with the way things were going, and we were getting some good things going, and then we got Brian Maxwell came in to coach us, and by the time the third year rolled around, I figured we had a pretty good chance to do well anyway. Well, he's just a great guy. We hit it off right away. Ray and I became great friends and loved playing the game. Both of us. I think we challenged each other, and both became really good players in the West League. I mean, he lit it up there, and we had a couple really good years together. So it was. I think we pushed each other, and it was great just to have that chemistry too. We didn't play together that much on and off, but after the third year, after the World Juniors in January, I came back and actually put us on a line together. It was Steve Junker, and we just, I don't know, it was pretty good. Like we did well, to say the least. Kamloops always had a great team. I mean, they were always good. The 3 years I played, Hitch was there the first year, and they always had good players. And the second year we did make the playoffs when I was there, and I think they beat us 4 straight, or 5 maybe. It might even been 5, and then it was always good battles with them. And the third year we were able to give them a licking. We were a smooth, all-running machine there. By the end, second half of that 91 year, I think our confidence level was through the roof. Everybody knew their roles, and we just weren't going to be beat. I don't think we ever thought that we could be beat, and I think that helped us too. So we were excited to play them and get to the cup that year. I remember it very well because my roommate at the time, Bobby House, was one of the guys that went the other way, and it was a bittersweet day for us. But when you get a caliber goalkeeper like that, a first-round pick he was, and you know that your general manager, your owner, everybody's going all in, and he's the icing on the cake. We got Bart Cote in that deal too, and he was an excellent D-man for us as well. It was the old Boone Street Barn where we played there, and that place is rocking most of the winter. But once we got on a roll, we didn't lose at home, I don't think, for, last 10, 15, 20 games of the year. And part of that's because of the fans, and the whole city took to us. I mean, as the further we went, as we went through the league and into the Memorial Cup, I mean, their following got bigger and bigger, and it was pretty exciting. When I was traded there, I wasn't even sure where it was in the map. I'd heard of the Chiefs, of course, but I think with that run in '91, I think and the new ownership with Bobby Brett there got things going and kind of rekindled the spirit there. I mean, they had hockey back in the day in Spokane. They had some good senior teams and that stuff, and now they produced some NHL players too. So it's pretty cool. I don't know. I could go through our whole team that year. Everybody knew their role. I mean, from Cam Daniluk to Calvin Thudium to all these forwards we had. I'd like to name them all because everybody knew their role. Mark Wolf, Murray Garbett, all of us knew our spot on the team. I mean, we had Mike Jicklin, we had checkers, we had guys that could score, guys that could play the game any style, tough. And our D-men were all solid too. John Clem, I mean, he wasn't drafted, and he was a stellar. He was our captain, and he probably played 25 minutes, 30 minutes a game for us. It was just stellar back there too. So, and we had Kerry Toporowski too, tough guy, and nobody would mess with him. So, I don't know. We had a good team there. I don't think we were behind that whole tournament. We beat teams by 2 or 3 goals, and I don't know. I guess, yeah. I don't think there was really one time where we were like, oh crap, or whatever. We're behind or whatever. We just went in there with a goal in our minds, and we weren't going to be beat. I didn't feel pressure there personally, or I don't think we did as a team. I think if there was guys that were, felt pressured, or we just didn't allow it. We went out there, we played our game, played it the best way we could, and let the chips fall where they may. So I don't recall feeling a whole bunch of pressure there at all. Well, Maxie's, I don't know, maybe his bark was a little bigger than his bite, but I'll tell you what, there's not a coach in the world that would go further for his team. I mean, he loved his players, like he really did. He wanted us to do well. He wanted us to excel. He wanted us to grow as people and as players. And he was an honest coach, and we worked hard. And yeah, very, very, very happy to have been able to play under him. I don't remember a whole bunch. I remember it was, well, we got off to a lead, I think, and I don't know, the game seemed to go on for a while long, I guess. I don't know, but because just waiting for it to be over, because we got some great saves from Kidder earlier. We scored a couple goals, and once we got the lead, we were just excited, and we knew what was going to happen at the end. So it was an awesome feeling. I mean, and being in Quebec too. Quebec fans are knowledgeable hockey fans for sure, and playing the Colisée there. I mean, we were well respected, but just to grab that trophy and share it with that team was unbelievable. I look back on those days of the bunch of kids really that came together and gelled as a team. I mean, as I said before, everybody had their roles and they knew it. And I mean, we held each other accountable. We, if a guy wasn't doing well or sloughing off or whatever, he knew about it. And I think that was the biggest thing about that group of guys, is they just really wanted to win. They didn't care what it took. If a couple guys had to, maybe not play as much, or different roles that they might not have been used to in the past, they just accepted it and played hard. I haven't seen a lot of our guys for quite a few years, actually. I would like to have a reunion in some time and just see how everybody's doing, and how their lives have gone on. I mean, I've played against Ray and Kidder and Johnny Clem in the NHL, of course. But I haven't seen a lot of those guys for a while. It'd be nice to have a reunion of some sort. I'd like to have that.